This is from the promotional materials from Herman Miller. The office, in its short evolution, has adopted every kind of communication abstraction. That's true. Resultantly, we are concerned with reality simulation. The management of symbolic representation of reality is the function of offices. Herman Miller is really emblematic of modernist, not only aesthetic, but also like the aim in modernism. How can we shape an environment or human productivity, to the maximum? Like really shaping environments and even people's bodies. The invention of the cubicle basically revolutionized what we think of for office interiors or interiors in general.
The secretary of today and tomorrow is a genuine specialist. Her machines cost a company plenty. Her training costs a company months of time and thousands of dollars. Doesn't it make sense to keep her efficient and happy?
Yeah, it's like shaping the human performer into working harder, right? Like more efficient, more progress, more functionality. Once they started putting it into production, they realized like, oh, actually it's not a very humanizing space. So a way to do it was like to mask the surface with this pattern, so that the worker can quote unquote customize their space even though it's from a set library. And B, it sort of like decorates or masks what's happening, within this space. Like, oh, the horror of this kind of new environment, this little pen that you're working in. So like there's like this kind of like geometric patterns. And then the colors were really amazing. It's sort of like these happy colors. Oh, you could also choose this. I mean, this is like birds and flowers and things like that, but. Used office furniture component parts. Then recently I was thinking like, oh, why don't I actually find the original first run Action Office as like a ready-made material to use for the next project. And then I found on Craigslist a listing of liquidating cubicles. So I called this office number. It was in Bayonne, New Jersey, and the guy was like, yeah, I have like 20-something pieces, wall panels. I was like, can you just look at the tag at the bottom and tell me what brand it is? And he was like, it says Herman Miller Action Office 1. And I was like, how much do you want for it? He goes, $300. And I was like, for all of it? And he goes, yeah, why do you want this? And I was like, I'll be there in 2 hours. I got a truck, and Howie and I went out and like to Bayonne, and it's like this telemarketing center in this horrible like strip mall thing, and piled them into the truck, and that's that. So also kind of like self-consciousness. Some of the fabric panels that had a little bit of wear and tear, I unstretched the original fabric and stretched it with canvas and then painted them as monochromes. So it's like painting, it's a billboard, it's a cubicle form, and it's a sculpture, and it's all these things at the same time. The sculptures I created were like enclosed cubes. They're all non-functioning cubicles essentially, because you can't enter or you can't leave, right? So it's like these implications of like refusal or hostage.
She operates a machine. She indeed is the heart of the machine age. But she is not a machine. She's a live, warm human being who has to be appreciated and has to appreciate where she is and what she's doing.
I really wanted to name the show The Middle of the Beginning of the End, but the gallery was like, that is too harsh. So it's like basically the progression and the legacy of this whole modernist era. This is what we have now, is like post-economic crisis, post-Action Office. Now we're at a telemarketing office where somebody's calling somebody, but there's no communication, right?
She needs decor, color, warmth, vitality, and something as basic and all-inclusive as dignity. She's an action secretary, and she needs action office.